'em up.
Yeah, that's what we did this weekend. Coast to coast, there was action all over the water. We were there in the Thunder on the Niagara. We had a full weekend finally in that HRL race there. A lot of times we get blown out a day or a heat or something. Lots of action there.
Whoa. They had a full weekend, Brandon.
Yes, they had a full weekend.
They
I still
had-
have not
yeah.
run a final since Madison of last year. I'm getting ultra frustrated here. But yeah, we had everything was a good weekend, and Seattle seemed like they had their normal. We'll talk about that later. We have a guest coming on, Brent Hall. He's a part of the H1 production there. Also has a long history in the sport. Going to get his insight, and obviously he's one of those guys trying to become an unlimited driver, like a lot of us. So we'll talk to him about all that stuff. But let's kick it off with Tonawanda. We'll go ahead and first off, congratulations to Kyle and Austin for wrapping up the 2.5 stock championship in HRL. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Austin was able to keep the streak alive. I didn't
Yeah,
put any pressure on him, but I'm sure Mom said you seemed like you were a little worried about it.
I'm glad he kept
Just
your
a
streaker
little.
alive. Bobby couldn't keep mine alive.
Bob actually said that
Fail.
this weekend.
Failed.
We said it the
Dude, I was
said it
having
last week.
flashbacks in that heat before my escape hatch blew off. I'm like, this is exactly like last year. Kent jumped. I'm running him down. Don't hit him.
Man, you should just be consistent, right?
Yep.
what-
That's
what
it. Yeah, just do it again. I think there would have been some words if I hit that boat.
Speaking of the escape hatch, how is your legs and everything feeling after that?
How's your balls?
Yeah. Luckily, my balls are fine. I've never had so many women ask me about my balls. Carson was starting to get jealous. And men. I mean, but yeah, I have a 7-point harness there, so it's got a crotch belt and 2 side belts, and I think that acted as a cup. But my left leg's really sore, hard to bend, those kind of things. But I think it'll be all right. I'm really pissed that there's no bruising yet, though. So it's obviously all internal. But if it does bruise, it's going to look pretty good, and I will post some Speedo pictures.
Oh, fuck.
Oz, how was the water? It was kind of hard to tell on stream. Some heats it looked really rough. Some heats didn't look all that rough.
Like the qualifiers.
I mean, there's obviously there was a hole hanging out in the entrance turn too, for sure.
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, the qualifiers weren't horrible. Turn 1 was pretty consistent all weekend of just being massive holes everywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much lane 1 through 3. If you're out in 4, it really wasn't horrible, but
Owen Henderson found a hole.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
the one at the entrance
insane.
too.
I seen that video that he shared, and that looked brutal. He
Yeah.
has to be sore today.
It
I don't know
ripped it
how
around
that
so
sponsor
fast.
Or
stayed on
yesterday.
that. I don't know how
Yeah.
that sponsor stayed on. Must have been glued on better than Grant's.
For
Yeah.
real. No, but the finals definitely got rough, but compared to last year, I would say it was a fair bit better.
I'd hope it was better than last year's final.
Yeah, especially being
Yeah.
up front, being not late to the start.
You,
Yeah, not running
you,
in the swamp.
you tried to dump it on like coming up for the white flag though.
It's possible. Yeah, I was launching it quite a bit. I won't lie, like after the 3rd or 4th lap, and I had a lead. I backed out a bit, but you can't really do that. So you
Yeah.
kind of just got to keep sending it, and you might catch a roller or 2 here and there, but just be ready.
Bob and I both
Yeah.
thought you dumped it when Owen went over
Oh,
because they
bro.
were back in the middle of the pack, and then Tommy said we got a boat over, and the camera panned, and just there's really only 2 boats up there. It could have been, and how fast it panned, and it seemed like it went so far. I was like, oh shit.
Oh no.
I totally thought it was Austin. I'm like,
We
there's
see
only
white
2.
boat
When he
upside
started
down, I'm
panning
like, oh,
over,
no.
I'm like, there's only 2 boats, Austin and Owen. And he's right. Like, they panned for so long, and I'm like, fuck. And then, like, I see the boat, and I see white, and I'm like, fucking Austin. Oh, man. And then I'm like, and then I think somehow I see you, like, kind of, like, coast in front of the camera. I'm like, it's not Austin.
Yeah.
I'd like, especially after this weekend, we kind of were doing some stuff with the fin Saturday, and it was really biting on me in the turns. But even with that, I do not think it's totally possible to hook our boat. Like the
Man,
amount of times
you
it's
better knock
fallen in
on
holes.
wood. You better
It's gonna
knock on
happen.
wood.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna
eventually.
happen, dude. But it's gonna take like a 4-foot hole to spin that thing because
Yeah.
it
It
just
deflects really well.
yeah, it just bounces right out of almost everything.
I tried pretty
was
hard in
ago.
Sorel last year.
You can thank Carson for that one we spent a whole year trying to chase why that boat spun out and learned a lot of things to get that thing right.
Yeah.
So she took the spin cycle for you.
That's
Hey,
all right.
appreciate
Hey,
it,
hey,
Carson.
look at Brandon. He
Thanks,
spins
Carson.
out. He's spinning out in the middle of the straightaway. In the old Jones
Yeah.
GP.
Yeah, exactly. That thing had a mind of its own.
So it looked like there was a lot of really good racing in Tonawanda. I mean,
Yeah.
it rough water definitely adds a element to the tight racing. Plus the size of the course always does. But it was good. It was good on live stream. The live stream was spot on again. You know, I'm gonna give praise to
Shout
both
out
live
TJ.
streams. I'm gonna give praise to both live streams. H1 did a fabulous job. Those guys, that whole crew, they're finally clicking and they're getting it going with the live stream. And you know, HRL, they've been on point for a long time now. So
And it's HRL with their
Couch-
skeleton crew.
from Couch Kennedy, it was real good. I mean,
Even
It's not
TJ's
Couch
camera
Kennedy,
skills were
it's the
good.
Stream assassin.
TJ, I could tell it was TJ off the bat. I'm like, he's turned two. He's turned two. And then but that was only for like the first like hour. And then after that, TJ got it real quick.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And you couldn't tell after that. But both live streams were really good. There's some things that HRL can do better, some things that H1 can do better, but as they're both growing and both getting better, and it's actually awesome to watch. Like it's like watching NASCAR on TV.
Yeah.
It's getting that good from both live streams.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. It's kind of funny. Obviously, we're there at the race, but now we have a TV set up and have the internet connection, and we'll sit there and like have the live stream on. So if you don't feel like getting up to go watch a heat, you just watch it. It's like watching TV. Sometimes the angles are better. I don't
Right?
have to walk
It
so
is.
far to hear
It
John
is.
Tomey on there.
I mean, they have the drones. They have both live streams have the drones, so and you can't get that view anywhere unless you watch the live stream. So, I mean, that's definitely a really good element that they have. But tight racing at Tonawanda, it was really good. I don't.
That's all you got.
We're gonna bring it up right now.
Oh, man.
I don't know any boats, but I hear there's some things going on in the 350 class in HRL. Hopefully they get that squared away. I mean, I bet you Nicholas Roos is like just watching all the Facebook comments and everyone going on about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's watching close. I mean, they
Yeah.
got to treat this very diligently. They got to treat this delicate, and they got to do due process and figure this out, because you just can't let people cheat. You can't
Yeah.
let them cheat. I mean,
Gray area.
we have stuff going on in APBA right now with the 350 that I hear there's a protest coming up. So we're making sure that the inspectors have all the tools. The inspector better be on point. I read the rule book that it has to be done by 12 o'clock midnight Sunday. You can't, like I heard someone saying, oh, well, we're going to have them sealed so they can take the engine, so the inspector can take the engine somewhere else and inspect it. Per the rule book, it has to be done by 12 o'clock Sunday at the regatta. If it's not done, the boat's awarded, the protest is over, the boat's awarded points and the prize money, protest is over. And the way I read it right, if the protest is over and no one's found illegal, APBA gets $250, and the boat that was protested gets the other half of the $250. So I don't know. We'll see what happens this weekend in Mott Lake, but either organization, you know, if there's speculation with cheating, you just got to get down to the bottom of it. You got to clear names. If someone's cheating, then that's bad. But if they're not cheating, clear their name, get it out there. But at the end of the day, if you want to start protesting other boats, that is a rabbit hole you don't really want to go down. I mean, look back in Bill Pierce when he was being threatened to get tore down. Bill's like, tear me down. I'm going to tear you, and you down. Some people didn't like that because they didn't want their engines coming down. I wonder why. But it was but I don't know. If there's boats running these 400 engines or whatever in HRL's got to do something about it. They can't just let that stuff go on. And if you knew about it, whatever points that boat scored, you got to take those out of the book. They can't get points if you knew they were illegal. I mean, I'm not saying that HRL knows, but I'm just saying they can't get points. That can ruin someone's season who is legal and who's been doing it right by the books and working their butt off to do this the right way. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm just sitting on Couch Kennedy figuring all this out. I'm not going to any races. I mean, I just call it how I see it from the couch.
You know, that's what racing's all about. Somebody can find some gray areas, and then somebody's got to write rules. That's why the APBA rule book's 300 pages long. We got to check all them boxes and dot all them I's. We just went through that. You got to make sure everything's measured and all this, so there's no gray areas.
But I like HRL's book. It says if it's not written here, you cannot do it.
Yep.
Like that clears up any gray, well, 90% of gray areas anyway.
Right.
Like, I don't know. But I don't know. It's just interesting just hearing all these things come out, and it's like, well, are they? Are they not? I hope no one's cheating because
the rumor mill is just insane. it's
crazy.
Probably like something small, and then it takes off like a porcupine.
It's crazy. It's not as juicy as the West Coast rumor mills all the time, but but I tell you what. So anyway, there's really good racing. There was decent racing out west. There's really good racing in HRL. Well, when our guest comes on, we'll talk about the West Coast. But
yeah, I gotta say, like, you guys obviously being in the 2.5 stock class and watching that class over the past few years, it's really wild. By the time you get through Valleyfield in this part of the season, like the competition kind of goes up. It's like everybody starts to figure it out, and obviously you guys with that year last year with the boat, we had the boat close to dialed in, and switching to the Honda just made us able to focus on the boat more. We had that one step up on everyone. Obviously, Matisse coming out with a new boat, he's getting quicker and stuff like that. These rookies are learning. The one that Justin, he impressed me. The one he was fast and
he's done really well.
Beat Matisse and
is that the Hope boat?
Real well.
Yes. Yeah.
He's doing good.
Dude, he runs that thing on the ragged edge too.
And he's got a Ford
too.
Yeah, they are all in the shirts except for that final. Everybody was antsy. I was waiting for all of y'all to jump the gun. Y'all up at the entrance been at 40 seconds. I'm like,
at both starts.
I know, dude.
You guys,
they didn't figure it out.
Both starts. Usually when
I was not getting my lane taken.
Usually when you have a heat stoppage, you have to rerun it. You're like, all right, regroup. We're going to do this start a little better. Nope. No. You guys got right up there. Again.
I think what happened in both those heats, and I think it was a different boat, both heats for both attempts, but somebody got up there way early. And when you get a boat way up by themselves out in like 5 to 8, it gets kind of hard to tell what is 5 or what is 6. And people get antsy and they want to get up there and make sure their lanes where it's supposed to be. Like Austin said, when you're in 1, you kind of got to just go with them.
You got to. Yeah, and once somebody goes up, you got to. It's not worth
I've always wanted to see somebody like kind of – I'm not hoping for this to happen to somebody, but it would be kind of funny somebody come by, they're 8 wide, and then the freaking inside start finish line buoy just disappears as they go by.
I mean, when
that one year Bob might have done that, but
I've done it before.
Oh, dude, when you see someone flying on the outside, you know the roost tail's up. Just go. They're not going to see you, but you got to make sure that you're not at the back of their boat where that cowling dips down and the roost tail goes up, because they still see that. You got to be back at least 2 boat lengths behind their prop to make sure you're fully covered. But,
always used to, especially in 350, like if everybody got up there early, I'm going to try to trust them. I'll lay back and try to shoot the gap in between them. Yeah. So then when I started driving the skiff, and they would always get up to the entrance pin early. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And I'd lay back and I'd be coming through there like a damn roller coaster surfing. I'm like, okay, that's why you're all up there together.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't get it. The skiff's been around for 100 years. They still haven't figured out how to make a start.
No. No doubt.
It's definitely the most hectic ones.
I don't get it. Like, they all like to get up there early, and I'm like, why? But
yeah, that's crazy.
So
I will say, anything else shocking in 2.5 stock?
It was
before we move on. Go ahead, Bob.
I don't really think so. I mean, Matisse definitely found some speed after Valleyfield in that boat.
They tested
that thing out pretty quick. Yeah, right.
Both him and Aiden,
Aiden found speed in Valleyfield.
Speed and confidence, I feel like, and
You want to talk about finding speed? My GP pick almost won. Actually, no, I don't think I picked GP.
Yeah, you did. You said Cat was going to have a good weekend.
Yeah, that dude's got that boat flying. Now now I'd like him to settle it down a little bit. He's carrying that right sponson, and it's not like it pops like your sponson, right? His gets up there and just
carries.
carries. It's like, come on, Ken. But yeah, that Canada boy is getting it going, man. I hope they don't sell. I hope they keep running their program because it's coming alive and they're doing really good and they're not breaking.
Yeah.
They're fast
That's
and not breaking. Like, come on.
Well, if you think about that, speaking of that, we've been talking a lot about we kind of broke up as a GP class this year, but how to bring it back together. Our attrition rate is unbelievable.
It's been really
Jack,
good this year.
Jack had a blower issue that caused the DNF there. Ken had a wire chafing and shorted out that caused DNF. And then I think Brody might have lunged a motor. But other than that, we've only had like 2 motor failures all year on the East Coast at least, which is wild. And then they go out to San Diego and have a bunch of issues. But I mean, or not San Diego, Seattle, and have a bunch of issues with the GPs out there. But as a class, I mean, look at Richards. We'll even take it to the West Coast. Richards Racing last year, they had a ton of motor issues. They were changing motors like I change underwear. This year, I don't think they've changed one yet.
Yeah.
So it's like once figure it out and realize it's really not that difficult to get these things to run using the right parts, not doing it yourself. Usually blowing up self-inflicted in this class, but I mean it's awesome. So now taking that mantra, hopefully we can build the class back again.
Richards Racing, from what I hear, is Trahey was there working on the boat this week, working on the engines this weekend.
Okay, that's good.
So, having your engine guy there goes a long way. A long way.
That helped.
No doubt.
Definitely. But I mean, the GP class is strong. We'll stick with that for a minute. It's strong this weekend. I mean, there was a lot of fast boats. I feel like the one person I feel like is the fastest right now, but just can't get out of his own way or just keeps having issues is Jack.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like he's got one of the fastest boats out there, but he got cut off or went in the tail in the final, went in the tail in Heat 1. I don't know what happened in Heat 1. He said he just knew he was on water, so he covered his mast like I'm going over. Then he never went over, but
yeah, he's quick. There's times I was watching and I'm like, I'm doing something. I look over, I'm like, go Ket. Oh, that's Jack.
Yeah,
their boats look so much.
Yeah, with the new white on the decks of Jack's, they look a little similar.
Yeah.
His boat's fast. It's been fast, especially like in a straight line. It's super fast. And it seems like the handling is better than it was last year. Last year thing looked like a demon to drive.
Yeah, he still says it's rough to drive, but
is it?
It's definitely got to be better.
It just looks smoother.
That one, unfortunately, is heading back down under. They're shipping it to New Zealand this month, I think. So
okay.
So what's the rumor for Jack next year? Is there one?
I don't know. He put to bed he put to rest the rumor that I heard. I heard he was driving the GP79 next year. He's like, well, Mike's got to like me first. I was like, Mike doesn't like you. He's like, no.
What is there not to like about Jack?
Yeah, I would say he's like me, hard on equipment, but that's about it. Other than that, he's a good dude. Fun.
Well, if you're hard on equipment, Jeff's hard on equipment.
Yeah.
So
that's it. We all are at times.
Everyone is.
That's why boat owners aren't on the radio. They'd be like, slow down, save the equipment. I remember one year at Yelm, the John Zimmerman was running the 350 or 305 5-liter back then, and he was trying to go for the 1 2/3 record. Well, he missed the starter, wasn't on the record the first lap, and Ron Jones is on his radio, save the prop. So that prop must have been like just for the record.
Yeah. Save the prop. I remember that. That's crazy.
Well, let's bounce back in the Formula. Unless there's any comments there, we got to answer. We'll bounce in the Formula 2500.
Jeff Ayler. What about Kong? Jeff was on. Jeff Ayler did the Kong television out west at the H1 event. Seafair.
Yes, his first time ever doing live TV.
Live TV. That's really cool. I mean,
I can't believe it's been this long, and he's finally on live TV.
Why wasn't he on years ago? I mean, no, one hell of an announcer right there.
Yeah,
I wonder if I hope that ends up on YouTube or something. I didn't get a chance to watch that. Obviously,
I think it is. I think I sent it in our group text last night. You just didn't pay attention.
So there's a question: Do guys run water pumps to keep the motors cool when holding spot. Someone keeps commenting. Holding. Where did that comment go?
Dude, read the
Holding
comment.
spot, fighting for lanes. Fighting for lanes. Yes, 90% of the boats do have water pumps. Ours don't. 2.5 stock. I generally drive. Does. Austin's and Kyle's does not.
Nope.
With fighting
And
for
none
lanes, there's a method that you can use where you don't really need a water pump. You don't need to troll for 5 minutes like the old days.
Yeah.
So any more questions? Saw Brandon got a free vasectomy this weekend.
I told you the boys were not harmed in the loss of that escape hatch.
That's great.
Grandel said 15 had a prop shaft issue, 12 had an engine blow up, 79 and the 135 had gearbox breaks. All right.
See, attrition's good.
Only
man.
one engine blow up. Could be worse.
Yeah, could be. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of people got fearful. It's hard to run GPs, but I mean, showing that it's not that hard to put them together and keep them running.
No. Well,
But so we don't keep Brent waiting too long. Let's keep it rolling on the HRL stuff. Formula 2500. Eddie,
Yeah,
obviously.
shout out to
finally,
Eddie put a
finally
weekend
wins in his
together.
hometown.
Eddie
Yep.
put a weekend together.
Got it done
I
over
haven't seen that
fast.
much excitement out of someone in a long time. So it was really cool. The whole
The
whole
crew,
team,
everything.
yeah.
That was one wild award ceremony to go to. It was so loud.
Crazy.
Was it?
I was like, I felt like I was in a nightclub or something. Everyone was cheering so much.
For real.
And they did announce at the awards that Tonawanda will be on again next year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's cool. That's real cool. So yeah, 4,500. Eddie Camfouche knocked it out of the ballpark. Went and got himself a win in his hometown, and his owner Don Less's hometown. So that's really cool for the Senseless Racing team. 350.
Mark
Did we go
Lalonde,
over
first win.
350?
That was-
Yeah, Mark Lalonde, first win.
First win.
That's cool. I
With
think
front flip
did he
off
have
the
a
dock.
perfect weekend or close to it? Like,
He might have.
I don't know
He's
where
been-
his, all
I'm
of a
pretty sure he's
sudden-
like actually performed better every weekend so far this year. Like if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, it's just more points every weekend.
yeah, that's awesome.
No, he started in the F class, went to 350, and progressively got better as the year went out.
He actually he drove Pro Hydro for a bit. I think that helped get him ready for 350
that he did.
since it's a step up to 350.
Yes, that. No, Mark Lalonde, I would say hands down, this is his first year in 350.
Yes,
And I would say he's knocking
Hands
it out of
down,
the
he should-
ballpark.
he should
Doing
win the
really good.
best driver in a superior class for sure.
100%.
It's got to be between him and Jacob, and I think the race win on the resume probably leans that in Mark's favor now.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I would.
I mean, Jacob's got the finish. Will likely have the finishing position at the end of the year. I don't know. Nothing against Jacob. He's doing a phenomenal job. But 350, stepping up into that class is just an insane animal.
Yeah, like Tommy said, like 350 is the best. NHRL is the best show you can ever ask
It's
for.
best in APBA.
I mean, we had
I'd argue.
a dead heat finish this week.
Yeah, that was insane.
That's incredible.
Has that
Like, I've
happened
never
before? I
seen-
think Tommy referenced another time it happened, but I didn't totally
I
hear.
finished in a dead heat with Casey Browning back in like 2007, I think.
Here's how you fix that. If it's a dead heat, the outside boat gets the win because they have the longest way around the race course.
Yeah, that's their whole shot.
And I
Yeah.
really think that's how it should be. I don't think you should ever have a dead heat where there's two winners.
Yeah,
I mean, someone had to do something better to win. And I think since we don't have banks like a circle track NASCAR, we're flat. The outside has to
Tonawanda is
be
not
just
flat.
hauling. No, you're.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I think the outside boat should win the dead heat. I mean,
yeah. Good points. Them.
I think
And-
it's one of those
and
ones that's
speaking-
so rare too.
Speaking of outside boats, come on, man. They gotta.
Hold up, we got to look at the start and the final.
How about
Where
we
to
stop
work.
and look at the angle that the starting line is on?
it screwed me up all weekend. Like,
Like,
that
make
heat
your
with
starting
Kent,
line
I
straight.
stopped, but I'm pretty sure I was okay. Check this
Like,
start
make
out.
your starting line straight.
Let's take a look at the outside boot. He's out of the picture. Where is he going?
Who
I
is
think
that?
that's Tommy.
No, this one is
Oh, that was-
Rashawn.
no.
I mean, he's still
No, it
not in
was
the
Tommy.
picture.
That
No,
is
that's Tommy right there.
That's Tommy. There's
Yeah.
one further outside than that. Here he
Oh
comes.
shit! Oh, look at that
He
run.
was
he got.
downriver. He was up in. I think Buffalo's up that way. He was in Buffalo.
He is fucking lying,
I mean,
a
he came with a
crazy
run.
That is awesome.
Dude, that
is
dude,
awesome.
I don't know how he didn't blow over this weekend.
Right.
Hey,
That boat
hey.
spent 0 time in the water.
He conquered Tonawanda, man. He
Yeah, he
got
did.
through one piece. That guy
Yep.
has the worst luck at
God, that
Tonawanda.
turn was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of bearing out from the inside, some coming in from the outside. A little craziness.
So Austin Hayes kept the winning streak going.
We gotta
Got
do Grand
another
Prix stuff.
dub. Eddie Camfouche win in his hometown. Mark Lalonde, first win in 350. And Ken Lupton, whatever. Just good job, Ken.
You
Everyone
got
was,
it.
we were having it, but no, Ken, good job for Ken. He's
You got to
fast.
give him. Look,
He's
them
fast.
New Zealand boys don't always hit starts. They're not used to it. I mean, he tattooed that start in the final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I swore he jumped. That might make that top 5 there at the gala.
Dude, they're gonna have
Yeah.
that whole video is gonna be Tonawanda. The whole
Yeah.
weekend I'm
Yeah.
watching and I'm just like, nope, we got jumpers, and then come back clean start by like the
Yep.
first turn. I'm like, how the are they all clean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we
all
got
right.
we got a lot of. I mean, the point series. You got 25 points and 350 separating the top 4. That's going to be a crazy Bahama. We'll talk about that on next episodes. And then you got still the 2500s up for grabs. Grand Prix. I don't know what the class is doing for Bahama. We'll figure that out and obviously let everyone know. But
I think
So it's
thirds, there's still a good battle for third and 2.5 stock too, like 3-4 boats, kind of all within
Yeah.
range.
so they did
That'll be
say there is rumor that they're going to switch classes and do something different. I don't know what the truth is. I was told that info might come out right after Bahama, I guess.
Formula
what they're
Honda.
going to do for moving. Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
writing's on the wall if you ask me.
At this
It's
point, you
pretty
got
obvious.
3 of them running in the F class. You would gain one in promotion. I think you'd gain, depending on who takes third. I think it's mostly Fords. I think Lucas is a little farther back with the DNFs.
Yeah.
You get 2 with promotion.
Yeah,
but-
and I think with obviously they did gain a little bit of speed this winter, and now with not as many of them working, it could be pretty good.
Now, question is,
But there's
No,
got
I
if,
don't
if
think- I
that
don't think-
happens.
I don't
If
think
that
you'll have
happens-
anyone to switch back to a Ford.
No, I would hope
No.
not. I would
hope
say HRL's smart enough that they'd be like, that's not allowed.
Yeah.
Like if you're running a Honda in 2025, you're going to run a Honda in 2026. There's no
Yeah.
switching back. And I mean, for the investment, the money side of it to develop the new motor, they got to put a phase out period on it. Like, hey, we're gonna
Oh, yeah.
if they do this is all speculation. But if they do that, then they'd be like, all right, 2 years, it's just going to be a Honda class, and we're going to have a rookie Honda class and a pro Honda class.
And
again.
I think for teams, I don't know if they'd want to, but let's just take Kevin Smith for the sake of the example. He's been running in Formula 2500 for several years. He's been driving for how long?
Long
Well
time,
over
yeah.
a decade, I think.
Yep.
If somebody had a Ford still running, they're running the Honda class. I feel like they should get the option. Somebody like
Yeah.
in his case, I don't think you take somebody
Yep.
a rookie that just choosing to run a Ford and they're like, no, I want to do
That's
it.
true.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
at
a good
that
point.
I think at that point you don't have your lower and upper class. It's just Ford Honda.
Yeah.
Like there's no like 2.5's not below.
I think in the
Hondas or
current
anything like
situation, and
that.
it's just the way that it shook out, that
Yeah.
most of the Hondas fall in the more experienced boats with more
Yeah.
experienced drivers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
So should we
Just-
move on to Brent? He's been waiting.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
bring
He's
it
been
on. All right.
waiting. We haven't tested it, so obviously, live production here. Any
Yep.
glitches, we'll get them figured out. But let's go ahead and bring Brent Hall on.
How we doing, Brent?
How's it going, Brent? You got us?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you a little bit. We got a lot
Maybe
of
turn it up a
background
little.
noise of us on there.
Figure it out, but let's go ahead and bring Brent Hall.
Oh.
It's because I was listening to y'all talking trash.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's all right. I do
Yeah,
I do it all the
time.
time. I'll play something on my laptop, and I'll be like, "Why am I hearing myself?"
I was listening to y'all, and I heard "Sitting on the Couch," Kendi, West Coast Rumor Mill, and I heard "Changing Motors Like I Changed My Underwear." So,
He got it all.
Oh yeah, I see you.
Yep.
That's funny.
So all right, well, let's kick it off. Obviously, Couch Kennedy up there. He's had a lot to
I
pick
do.
on
He's
the
been
live
wild
stream
today.
on everyone's live stream this year. But we
Oh,
did
yeah.
say tonight that
Some
they've all
days he's
been.
quiet. Some days he's quiet. Some days
No,
he's
no
not.
live
Today-
stream is safe. No live stream
Okay,
is safe.
bring
so.
it, man.
No,
Yeah,
so-
that's
I was saying that both live streams, HRL and H1s, have they keep getting better and better. Like,
Yeah.
H1 the beginning of the year it was a little rough, but everything was new, right?
sure.
And there's a learning curve there. Now the live stream cam at Guntersville, staring at the flag blowing in the wind, that was killing me. That was killing me.
Fair enough.
But-
and
but,
the music, I know.
But all jokes aside, it's gotten better, way better, and it's enjoyable to watch now. So
Good.
Seattle was
Good.
really good. It's like you said, it's gotten better and better, and Seattle was like the biggest leap forward it's taken. It was
Yeah.
top notch.
And I'm glad to hear that. And I think, for us and the production team, yeah, it's definitely been a crawl, walk, run. And just like you said, Guntersville was kind of our start. And, there was just some challenges like getting pit interviews and getting the Starlink to cooperate. But now I think we're starting to figure all that out. And so it's been fun. Like we have a production meeting every morning, get together, talk about what we're going to do. And then also like, what are the lessons that we've learned and what are some of the stories we want to get out? And hopefully you're appreciating that too. We're really trying to focus on the stories of the drivers. And, I know we've still had some clipping.
Yeah.
We're working on that, but yeah, there's some good stuff.
no,
to come.
it's really good, and like I like how you guys are incorporating, doc interviews, pit
Yeah.
interviews, stuff like that. The thing you did with grabbing people out of the
Yeah.
out of the line and brought them in, gave them tickets, brought them
Man,
in.
you
and
stealing my
toured
stuff.
through
I
the
got
thing.
stuff to tell you. You taking my line.
Hey,
Look
I've
out.
been watching. I've
known
watching.
you a long time, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've known you a long time. No, but I'll even back up and just say, working with Brad Luce, Erica Allreed, Tanner Faust, what an honor. So we've got a superstar team, and then we knew we needed to work on some stuff. So, I think about the comparison from Guntersville to Madison, and Madison we were running into some challenges too, but we made a pivot point. And you noticed on Friday we just started bringing people to the desk, and that really opened things up. So, and Janet, she told me, "Hey, be nice." I said, "I'll be nice. I am nice." But I would just say Janet really jumped in and said, "Hey, what can we do?" And she said, "You know what? I'll go bring anyone to you that you need." We had weather issues in both Guntersville and Madison. Who would have known that? I mean, man, I was just shocked like how much dead time we had.
Yeah.
But we had to fill it. Madison was a real pivotal point, and Janet just, you worked with her. She worked her magic and just started having people come to the desk. And I can still even visualize all the people that came. I mean, man, we had Mark Tate. That was an amazing interview. Got J. Michael to kind of loosen up and joke a little bit. I teased him about a gritty contest. It's like, I don't think you're going to win that with your boys. And he agreed. But he also just talked about, his kids are really growing and learning the sport, and they're some of his biggest critics on starts.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. So just to start getting some of those stories. Andrew Tate was fun too, because I'd learned about Grandma Tate.
Yeah.
And that's someone I want to get on either call her or get her on the show. But he said like, "Hey, you don't need to worry about me. You better worry about Grandma Tate if you're talking about her, Andrew." So again, some of those stories just started coming out naturally, but we just needed people to come to the desk. Jeff Bernard was cracking smiles. I was like, "What? What is that?" I'll tease him to his face. It's like Jeff is usually buttoned down and serious, and it was nice to just hear him loosen up. So Trying to do more of that.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
really
definitely a good and added piece to it. I mean, the only thing I would wonder is like, are you guys recording that stuff? Or are you going to
Yeah.
repurpose that like through the winter and kind of play it again?
Yeah, and again, I think you nailed it because there's so much content that we gathered. Seafair Friday, you saw maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the interviews. I probably did 12, 13, 14 interviews.
Yeah.
Wow.
You just want to bank that stuff. And
Yeah.
there was some other magic moments, like I think Rob Chapman's daughter, part of Richard's Racing, he's the crew chief for them, but she wants to be a crew chief someday. So we interviewed her, and it's just really cool to see some of those stories too. You got to figure out where you fit them, but I know I'm working with Janik to see like how can we push that stuff out on social, and it's at the right time. With the algorithms, you don't want to just jam a whole bunch of stuff out there and have it not have a purpose, but we want to figure out the right way to do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is
I think
cool.
that's the key. And we trying to get content ourselves for Chasing Tails at race weekend while racing and all the other stuff. We know the challenges that come with it because it's a pretty fluid process, but you can't really get too much content, like not racing content,
That's right.
even if you never use it, it's good to have. And you guys did a good job filling time with that this weekend, but like you said, there's a bunch more that can still be used. I mean, you could even play it on the next live stream if you need to fill time.
Next live stream in between. This year I got to live out a bucket list. Well, I didn't even know it was a bucket list, but my buddy lives in Indianapolis, and he said, "Hey, you need to come hang out with us and go to Indy." So I went to Indy this year, and I was blown away with just how everything matters. The ticket is a collector's item. Several 100,000 people in the fans. That opening ceremony, just puts goosebumps on your arms. It is something extremely special. And then the way the drivers interact. And I had the opportunity to go to their award show. And, obviously it's led by someone who I think she was a newscaster at the, I want to say like Super Bowl. She's been in the Super Bowl and things like that. Really top notch, but every driver, and there were 30 plus drivers, had to speak, and they were all entertaining, all engaging, very funny. And it was like, that says a lot. And then, like you're saying, that content, they took some of their award ceremony interviews and they would pump those out on social media. And just like we have Hydro News, they have their own news channel, and obviously they have Fox, but there's just ways that, we're learning, like, hey, how do other sports engage their fans in new ways? And I think I'm a student. I just want to learn, like, what other people are doing.
Yeah. I think that's one argument I feel like we've kind of scratched the surface on with all series, that I know it's a big expense to get content and stuff like that, but a lot of times it gets held in their nucleus. And it's like, if you share the videos of the boats racing and we post them, or the team posts them, that's just getting it out there.
That's right.
I don't think any content is bad content. So we're really trying to break down that bridge. Like, we understand it costs money to get that stuff, but let's get it out there. Let's do something different with it. Like, if we edit something, we're not Montwork. We're not going to make it look as cool as him, but we might get 100,000 views. That's 100 more than we had before. So
that's right.
Gotta work together.
Just teams alone. So say if every unlimited team made 2 or 3 little short videos of them working on the boat or doing something, and the GP teams out there, that's tons of content that is out in the world, right?
That's right.
And that's what hydroplane racing needs, or just power boat racing in general. It needs to get out there. It needs to be seen, because it might reach someone who's never heard about inboard boat racing or unlimited boat racing or Grand Prix boat racing, but all of a sudden it sparks an interest. And that interest might lead to a new boat racer, a new fan, a new owner. And that's what we need.
That's absolutely right.
That leads me to one little story, and then we'll get back on track. I posted that video of the kids starting the motor. Everybody loved it. It's got like over 200,000 views. And I had the couple parts companies message me. Like the owner of Mearsh Intakes messaged me and was like, this is really cool. Like, and just talking about their intakes and how we can work together. And that might turn into a sponsor for the Grand Prix class next year. If we can do it right. Awesome. So it's just getting it out there. You never know what's going to hit, which is really unique. We've learned that over the past 2 years of doing this Chasing Tails thing, is just keep it going. And obviously I really feel like leading into that H1, they put their money where their mouth was. this
Yeah.
year. They knew that they had a good live stream, but they needed to do more than just film the boats. And I feel like that's what you guys have done great at so far. Talking about the progression of it, what do you see the future going? What more are you guys going to try to do? Maybe even in San Diego, or looking forward future to next year?
Yeah, and maybe even before we get into that, I do want to talk about the progression from Madison and the Tri-Cities in Seattle.
Yeah,
I think
go
it's
ahead.
important. But actually, even before I do that, I do want to
We
say,
don't- We don't ever plan these episodes,
Oh, I
so we
know.
might go here, we might go
Oh
there.
yeah, and I might take you right back where I
Yep,
want you.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So-
No, and what I wanted to say though is that you all have gotten it since day one. And Brandon, I know I've had conversations with you about you all get it. You've been pushing content. You're building a brand with Chasing Tails. I gave you a little shout out in Seattle, and
Mhm.
I've done it
Appreciate
before.
that.
Yeah, no, and it's important because you're telling our stories.
Yeah.
So you 100% get it. We're kind of all working together and kind of off that same sheet of music, but the more content we can get out, the better.
Yep.
And so I have seen growth, like Tri-Cities to Seattle. I took, that's kind of my summer vacation. And obviously I'd love to be racing, but to help with the telecast has been absolutely amazing. And we really did start focusing on those human interest stories. And so I think you saw it really come to a head in Seattle.
Mhm.
And there's just been some fun stuff. Like, obviously we got a chance to interview Bruce Ratchford and hear what he had to say. And then I've been taught something that's probably created a monster, but Erica taught me how to screen grab videos. You all know how to do that, but I hadn't done it on my phone. But I found that video of Mike Hansen, and it was 1995 Evansville. It's from Tom 9 Ace. That's on YouTube,
Mhm.
and it was like Mike Hansen as a driver and a crew chief, and then Trevor was 6, Aubrey was 2, and then Tanya was in there as well. And then we got to do a follow-up interview on that and tease him a little bit about it. So I just said, like, hey man, no one's off the hook now, and Andrew better watch out because I know there's some Coke bottle glasses of him in the video. That's I think it's Detroit 1995. So we gotta have some fun. Yeah, so you get it. You gotta have some fun.
Oh,
with
yeah.
that.
You have to. There's a saying in a movie that I love. It says, "You can't take life too seriously. You might not get
That's
out
right.
alive."
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
So
That's
you got to lighten the mood, and
Yep.
you got to have a good time with it. And
That's right.
because if you're too serious, people don't want to watch too serious.
No.
People are too serious through their Monday through Friday day job.
That's
You
right.
have to be happy. You have to joke around and make it
Yep.
entertaining and lighten the mood, right?
That's
And
right.
so you
We
guys
have to be characters.
Bob,
be
actually,
characters.
I will say that I feel like every sport needs one or two of those, just like Kyle Busch, Max Verstappen types
Sure.
that
yeah.
just
Yeah.
can't smile. You know what I mean?
You
Yeah.
need a villain sometimes.
Yeah.
No.
What I
Dave's
think
not
so.
bad anymore. Dave is super nice now.
Yeah, and he's helping everybody. It's
Yeah.
like totally different.
Yeah.
He's
What I
going
like
down
about
the dock,
those
fist pumping
situations-
people, and
What I like about
Yeah.
those is when whoever's doing the interviews or whatever, they try to get something out of them. That's always a fun interaction to watch,
Yeah.
especially as it happens more and more. You
That's
see it
right.
with Kyle Busch all the time. He's just sitting there
Sure.
trying to make the people doing interviews feel dumb or whatever it is, and it's just
yeah.
it's always interesting and fun to watch.
Yeah. And boy, I sure have fun with Brad Luce. Brad is he's a lot of fun and definitely knows the history. I love picking on him. So as a matter of fact, I need you to help me pick on him right now because he was bragging on the show about, oh, they've already invited me to Chasing and Tails. And I was like, well, I haven't been invited yet. I was like, oh, okay. Well, Brad, here you go. Guess who's
You
on
beat
Chasing
him.
Tails now? What's up?
Damn.
You beat him to it.
Yeah, oh, he's gonna hate that. So
he, not to stick a knife further in it, but we also had Jeff Ayler on.
he's family, right? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and John told me. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
Brad's last.
Hey, Brad, I love you, but I'm going to pick on you in a heartbeat. And so, those are the things we talked about. Like I always tease that, I'm a point guard, a 5'8" point guard. And so that means I'm not dunking very well. And it also means that I talk a lot of trash because that's the only other way that I can get things going. So we do a lot of trash talking back and forth, and it's
That's
fun.
fun.
We really, hopefully you saw that and you were asking about, hey, how's it progressing? Like on Sunday morning, we
Yeah.
really tried to lighten the mood, and you saw
Yeah.
Brad and I picking on each other and
Yeah.
having a good time. You see Tanner doing that as well. Erica is super sweet and is just a great interview, but we pick on her too. So no one's off limits. We just have a good
Now,
time.
I was watching was it Madison or was it Tri-Cities? One of the two. I think it was Tri-Cities. So, like in a matter of like 10 minutes, there was like 6 or 7 things that popped up. Brad's like, I don't know. Where's Statman? Statman knows. Statman.
Thank you. Yes.
And I'm like, come on, Brad, get it together.
No. We rely on Statman like nobody else. And you all know Nick Kish, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nick is absolutely amazing. And we honored him on Sunday. And you might have seen in that video, why is Brent wearing red and blue socks? So this is Nick's get up.
Yeah.
Like every race, he's got red and blue, one red sock, one blue sock. You have to have it on, the right foot or the left foot. There's a certain, and then he's got a wristband, headband, looks like Dr. Detroit. He's got the gloves, the fingerless gloves. And the man is just an icon, but he really knows his stuff. We're having fun with the the pool, like the pick'em pool, and I was last, and so so I was talking to Brandon, I need to get on you for that. I was last because I picked you, man. I picked you, and as the underdog, I'm like, this underdog, I'm going with the underdog. But I still love you, and I still picked you for the right reasons because I always go with the underdog. But you owe me some points, man.
I got you.
You owe me some points. Yeah, and then I think you'll see more of that. So you were asking again, like, where's it going to go? We really want to bring the personalities out of the drivers, more human interest stories. May not be quite as heavy as the one that we did. That just blew my mind. Like, we weren't expecting that. And let me even talk about that a little bit. So it was just a brainstorm. We said, you know what? It'd be fun to do some kind of interaction, grab 4 passes, walk out to the line and go pick some people and bring them in and do a tour. Okay, that sounds good. We were going to do it Saturday afternoon, but it didn't work. I think timing-wise, we just didn't have the time. So we waited until the morning. It was a little after 8, so the line was starting to build. And then we went out to the line and just brought some cameras. We're like, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know what I'm going to say, but let's just try it. And so we walked out to the line, and you all both know, like, the people who are early in line, those aren't typically the families and the kids. Those are the diehards. So I'm looking, and you'll see it in the video. I'm looking at the line. I'm like, and then I saw the one family, and then I kept walking. I came back. I kept walking. I'm like, I think it must be them. So we walked over, introduced ourselves, and then it got emotional real quick. She had said that the little girl, her dad had passed away the week before.
Oh, wow.
And man, it just broke me up. My brother just passed away on the 4th, and we're doing a celebration of life for him. So it was super emotional, but I just kind of wiped my face and said, hey, let's go. We're going to make this an amazing time.
Yeah.
And so we walked through the pits and walked into the front of the line. Their minds were blown. They got their stuff set up. And then we took them on a tour. And I think what I'm most proud of that is when we took them on the tour, we didn't tell the drivers anything. None of them knew, but everyone just rolled out the red carpet. And Jeff signed autographs. Hey, so sorry. Well, I think they did tell Jeff, but everyone else didn't know.
Yeah.
And Rob Graham was there. Jamie did a great job with them. Gunnar did. But then we get to Cool Cat Motorsports and John Shaw. They blew their minds. So, John's like, come on back. And so they kind of open the gates. The kids go in. Everyone shakes their hand and is, just treating them like royalty. And they're just like, wow. And the little girl at the beginning wouldn't even shake my hand. But by the end, she was smiling and so excited. They sat in the boat. We shook the boat like you all do, like to make them feel like, hey, I'm in the boat. But man, we made some magic moments that day.
That's awesome.
And I think when we were done with John Shaw and the team, I just told him I don't think we can get any better than that. You know, I think it's time for you to go enjoy the race.
Yeah.
They left with crew shirts, they left with gift bags, and they didn't even know what had happened until they saw the video.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow.
I am
That's
just so impressed with that team. And John
Yeah, it's
closed
really
it
cool.
with, he said, and I'll let you get, but he said, you know what? My game face doesn't go on until I shut the lid. So
Yeah.
John's all about the fans and making sure they get the great experience, and I know you all are too. So thanks for
Yeah.
letting me spend a little bit of time on
Yeah.
that, because
No,
not
no,
everyone knows
it's-
the behind the scenes.
That
That's
was
probably the most important content you got all year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
that depicts our whole racing. We've
Right.
done all different kinds of racing, and you can barely get to the NASCAR drivers, IndyCar, like you can't.
That's right.
Where
Yeah.
our community just brings you in, and I mean,
yeah.
it'll hook somebody. Then they'll want to go do the driving school. Then they'll buy a boat, and it's just
That's right.
once you're a part of this family, it is truly a family. That's
Yeah.
what I love to try to show everyone, that like we're not just friends, we're not enemies for sure. We're a family as in this sport. And hell,
That's right.
our friendships here last forever. Friendships at home don't always last forever. It's kind of
Yeah.
wild how we all stick together.
Yep.
Yeah, it really is.
No,
And
that
it's
was
been a pleasure.
awesome.
I'll go
Yeah,
out and say
thank-
that's probably the coolest piece of content I've seen come out in boat racing,
Wow.
probably ever. Just encompassing everything, especially the kind of the emotions aspect of it.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
And not planned, but I got it. This is where that production crew and all of the investments that Daryl made a huge difference. Was obviously the drone coverage and everything is top notch and amazing, but the way they cut that, and Baker is the one who did the production, and then Robert and Nick did the filming, but they really made that look like it was a reality TV show.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what it was going to look like. I'm just walking through the field, and then when I saw it, we all watched it in the truck, and they all applauded. And here goes Brent, teary-eyed again. But man, it was emotional. Yeah.
That is
No,
cool.
you guys, that was really cool. That was really
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you. But more of that to come. Obviously, some of the stories might be lighter, some might be heavy like that. We sure weren't expecting it, but just continuing to tell the stories just like you all did.
So, we talked about you in, you're out there, you're
Yeah.
doing this thing with H1,
Yep.
but you're also a boat racer.
I am, yes, sir.
We can't just let that
No,
slide.
I know.
Can't let
Yeah.
that slide.
Thank
You're
you.
a boat racer.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your history of boat racing. I remember
Yes,
I went to,
yeah.
this is not, I mean, this isn't like a highlight you want, but
No,
I remember
go.
I went out and I ran on the East Coast once with my West Coast once with my 2.5
Yeah,
Lake
I remember.
Sammamish. You were driving Wally Johnson's 5-liter.
Oh,
And
man.
Wally was like talking to you on the radio, and I was standing next to him, and he like kind of does something like this, and he's like, "You're doing good, you're doing good." I'm like, "He lost the sponsor."
Uh-huh. Okay.
But-
Oh, we want to go there. I didn't realize that was the race.
No,
that we were at,
you did
You-
no, like it wasn't your fault. Obviously,
no.
it was the boat fault. I mean, look, Grant Liddy
Grant-
just lost the
Yeah,
sponsor this
no,
weekend. I mean,
Grant should have
Eh.
kept his foot in it, is what you're saying.
There-
But,
there's another- yeah.
it was just funny. Wally's like, "You're doing good. You're doing." It's like, bro, he lost the sponsor. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Not that it was your fault, but
No. I love that side of it because that's what I was thinking too. And
Yeah.
so just how it went was, you're right. I mean, I came down the front stretch and noticed the boat was kind of squirreling a little bit. That's weird, but okay. And then made the turn and then started heading down the back stretch.
yeah.
And then, I set the boat like we all do. And then deck peeled off. And I was like, that's weird. And I looked down and the sponsor's gone. And I'm like, and this is the last lap of the heat. But I went, you remember, I went really wide, but I was able to keep it on plane, and I turned it across the finish line. Wally, just like you said, hey, looking good. Come on in. And I'm like, dude, you're going to kill me when you see this.
it's like
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and then so I come pulling in, I cross the finish line, turn right, and then it starts to sink, and the rescue crew's already beelining for me. So
yeah.
Kip Brown, when I get there, he's like, dude, that's not even right. You didn't even get wet. That's not even right. I'm like, all right, that's fine. But then Kip also told me he heard the conversation that Wally and I had when I came in, and Wally's like, what did you do? And I was like, nothing. He's like, well, sponsors don't just fall off. And I said, this one did. And then finally later he said, yeah, just the way that thing de-lambed, I mean, it was clean across.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing
wild.
is that happened. There was also a 2.5 stock that was parked in the pits that weekend that also had a sponson missing that was going to go
Yeah.
somewhere to get repaired. So
Yeah.
it's an ongoing issue with that type of boat. So
The
it's
for
nothing.
sale sign was on the boat. The for
Yes,
sale
yes.
sign.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Someone joked and said, "Oh, half off now." I was like, "Yeah, thanks a lot."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's you drove Ollie Johnson's 5 liter. It's 5 liter at the time. What other classes? I know you
Yeah,
dipped
I
in
can run it
outboard a
down.
little bit, and you
Yeah.
worked your way up to unlimited.
Yeah,
So-
I can run it down. So
Yeah,
real
let's hear it.
quick. So first, I started with radio control, and I loved it. I never thought I'd get a chance to drive one though until I was at Tasting and Racing, and there was a RC demo, and a guy named Skip Young came over and he said, "Hey, how'd you like to meet Harold Mills, the first African American to drive an unlimited light at Seafair?" I was like, "Hey, you don't have to ask me twice. Let's go." So he took me over to Harold, and I got to meet him. Harold kind of sized me up though, and I don't know if any of you know Harold Mills, but national
think I've
champion
met
in
him once,
two and a half mod.
Mhm.
Fred Olson built his boat, and it was pristine, so top notch. And he was in the what's the name? Our Gang Racing. So he was in that boat, and I got to be on his crew, and they got a 3rd place. It was the first trophy that I'd seen an African American or a Black person win. I was like, man, this is awesome. I'll do anything, clean the bolts, you name it. But like I was starting to say is, you get a lot of people who want to help, but sometimes people just talk the talk, but don't really back it up. And I promised myself, hey, if Harold said call it 2, I'd call it 2. If he said clean some dirty bolts or wash the boat down, that's what I did. And I kind of had to prove myself because, again, you get a lot of people who talk and say, I want a boat race, but then aren't willing to put in the work. And I thought really I was just going to be his marketing person. And then he retired that next year. I was like, oh, no. So what I did was I leased the 5 liter from Bud McKay, and that was 2007. I took it out, did a fundraiser for kids at Tasting and Racing, and then I've been doing it ever since. And I think it was 2011, I bought my own 2.5 stock. It's the same one that Big Dog owns, now. And, it's decent old boat. But I also knew at that time, and with the know-how that I had, that boat was only going to be 3rd. Every time Brian Haney and Jeff Bernard showed up, I was going to be a half a lap behind.
Yeah.
So I did sell that boat, and then I jumped into an unlimited light with Vinny Zadaro, got some time with him. And then, I had the opportunity to test drive an unlimited, and that's kind of a funny story. It's, it was like driving a Ferrari before you're ready, right? But Jeff Campbell reached out and he said, "Hey, I know you're really good at getting sponsors. Could you help us get sponsors?" And I was like, "I could, but you all know how much time that takes, and like a 15% cut or whatever isn't necessarily what I was looking for. I wanted seat time, and I just kind of threw one out and said, well, hey, if I can get laps in the boat, I'll do it." And he's like, And so kind of walked away from that. But then he called me back 60 days before Seafair and said, "Hey, if you think you can still get sponsors, I may be able to get you some time in the boat." I was like, bet, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we got sponsors. AT&T was on there. I worked there. I was with, Seattle Home Appliance was another. Les Schwab was another. I joked about this one, but Seattle Suntan was another. Suntan sponsoring their brother. How about that? So we got some really good sponsors on, and I got some laps. But I knew I wasn't ready. And then really, but Brandon, like sometimes you just got to be out there for people to know who you are. And so Scott Baker said, "Hey, I got someone you need to meet." And he walked me over to Jerry Hopp, who I call Mr. Miyagi. And he introduced us and said, "Hey, I'd like you to, come, to the shop, and we can talk about maybe you getting some laps in the 15." I was like, "Sure." So the why he got the name Mr. Miyagi is when I got to the shop, he handed me the mop and the broom and said, "Clean up, clean up the shop." And that's exactly what I did. But That was probably like 2012 summer, end of 2012, and that's when I got in the 9, and that's when I got those laps. But then I started driving and sharing seat time with Jerry Hop, and we did that for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Had a son. That's why I went into the outboards. I have a 45 still. And, he started racing and has been racing at Seafair for the last 3 years, but now he's 6 foot, 140 pounds at 14. So he's not in the J anymore. So
We're gonna have to put him in a 5-liter.
yeah. And then maybe to close out, this year, really excited to be driving for John Rifle in the fully loaded team, E226 and Rhonda. They're an amazing family that they've been supporting me, and I've had a chance to drive that boat twice. We were on the podium at the Summer Nationals, so that was fun. And I think I'm still learning what that boat can do. We're playing with canards and spring tension and motors and props, but just glad to be in that boat again. And then obviously 2026, I'd love to get another crack at an Unlimited. I was 1 lap away in the U440. And that, but that just adds to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Let's
That's
talk
real
about
cool.
that a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
With the U440, first off, do your laps still count? Are you still 1 lap away, or do you have to start?
Well, so that's the interesting thing, because one of the teams did reach out and say, hey, we'd give you some laps if it's only 1 or 2 left. We'll throw you in the boat at Seattle. And I was like, man, let's figure it out. But I knew I needed to check with the H1 officials how it works. And Brandon, I know you know this, but they're concurrent. So when it's a 2-year roll off, and the laps that I had in Gunnersville expired 2 years ago, or expired in Gunnersville when that race happened. And then my Tri-Cities laps expired when that race happened. My Seattle race, or my Seattle laps expired when that happened. So really we found out that they were rolling off as we got into this year. So it didn't make sense to take a boat out for a couple laps. It really didn't. But I found that out I think it was Tri-Cities weekend. And so we just kind of said, you know what, time out on extra laps. But I definitely still want to keep my name out there, want to keep, racing. And then from whatever chair, whether it's the seat of an office in an Unlimited, or it's the seat of an H1 media person, I'm just here to promote the sport. And you'll see me continue.
Pretty much what I hear is they need to do a little bit more cleaning up of that H1 rule book over this off season.
I don't know.
We tried to say throw it down the river and start over.
Yeah, maybe, but truthfully, if you're in a good boat, and you can do it in 15 minutes. We saw Bobby King jump out in the Graham, right? And he did it in 15 minutes. So, I think it's just getting the right team and the right boat together. I know you all know, we did have an announcement about Legacy Racing. We had good intentions, just things weren't coming together fast enough. And, in January, I just realized it was time for me to step down and let someone else take a shot at that. And they're great people, and I sure hope they get the boat on the water. So I've got nothing but positive things for them. We just need as many Unlimited boats on the water as we can.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think we've been talking a lot about that. Obviously, me and Kyle Bipes have been talking more about it being involved with the Miss Madison thing. Is I feel like the steps you guys are taking with the production team and everything that I think is going to roll out over the winter, like we said about the content and stuff, is getting owners more excited. Obviously, Graham said he might run a full season, but then we heard a rumor he might sell. So H1 Unlimited's like it's a waves as they go, but there's so many good boats there that could come out. So if the series is structured properly and the promotions are there and things like that, I think we're going to get some owners excited again.
Yeah, I know, but I went and visited Bardish's shop, and so I had to tease him a little bit.
Museum. It's a museum.
Yes.
Without the red tape.
Yes, and that's what I had to tease him about. I said, dude, I watched the Seafair, and you have all the boats that were in that heat. The 10, the 7, the 13, the 22, the 57. I was like, man, we need to get one of these out here. So, Bardish obviously has a lot of boats. Brandon, I'm so proud of you for getting one out and getting it going. And I think that's the one thing that people don't understand. Like there's probably, 7 or 8 fully funded boats, and then 8, 9, and 10. It takes a lot to get those on the water. And Brandon, you broke through, man. So I'm really proud of you. I want to make sure you know that. And it was fun to interview you. in Madison, and just be part of that hype. I mean,
Yeah.
man, I know you couldn't hear it, but we could. People were so excited for you.
Yeah, I've never
and-
been so nervous to get in a boat
Oh.
versus Friday when we rushed the boat down into the pit area
Sure.
to just get a few laps. And when it lifted off the crane and the cheers, I was like, holy
Oh,
crap. I knew
man.
this was a community, but it's
Yeah.
really a big deal to them. It was cool.
No, it's a part of history, and you know how that town loves their boat, and you're it. So I really want to make sure that we talked about that too, man. I'm so proud of you. One of your biggest cheerleaders on the telecast, and that's why I picked you, man.
Yeah.
That's why I picked you in the pool. So yeah.
Hey, I had some tricks up my sleeve for that.
I know
final.
you
just didn't
did.
get it
I know you
there.
that's why I picked you. Yeah. So, but in all goodness, yeah, just proud of you for breaking through. That's
Thank you.
harder than anyone will ever know.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's one thing, Bobby. Like, I think it really hit home for me is like our family is 4 generations of great
Yeah.
drivers just within our family, and I was the
That's right.
only one so far, and hopefully some Bobby and maybe these other
Yep.
boys get a shot someday. But it's like, wow, it does take a lot to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
there, and just
It
to get
really
noticed,
does.
like you said, you got to stay out there. I noticed like Dylan Runny's at all the races, just keeping
Yeah.
his name in that bucket. But I mean, to me, that's the one thing unlimited owners need to do is open their eyes a bit to other series and see the drivers coming up. I mean, start watching these kids in 2.5 stock.
Whoa.
And
Whoa,
Start
and
breeding those
couches,
drivers.
and couches.
And couches.
and
Come on,
couches,
man.
yeah. Make sure
Sitting
you're
on
watching the
couch-
guys on the
sitting on
couches.
couch-
Hey,
Kennedy.
hey,
Get
hey!
him.
I'll tell you, Couch
Hey,
Kennedy is faster than any other couch. I can tell you that.
He's got all the
Huh.
strategy getting lane 1 down, so we're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. No, it's funny, Bobby. I was going to tease you at some point. I was like, when I first met you, I was like, man, this guy's pretty smooth, but with the little country, how do you got that mix, man? You got where does that come from?
Nick Eminem.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, he's a little part
Redneck
brother.
Eminem.
I lived. Well, let's see. I lived in Delaware. I lived
Okay.
in Maryland, Florida, and Michigan. So
All right,
it's
No,
all
I-
that's all over
Little
the place.
toast to everywhere.
you earned some brother points with me. Don't lose those. I'm just-
Yeah, that's
Oh,
great. Oh, so all right, we have some questions for you.
Oh,
Hold on,
more?
Rob.
Oh,
You don't want to
sweet.
put him on the spot.
We do.
No,
we
no,
do.
go.
But
Go.
We do.
before we do those, we got to put him on the spot with H1, state of H1. Let's not
Oh.
talk about
Ah.
the
Oh,
the production and all that.
Yeah.
H1, we think maybe is on a rise.
Yeah.
The fighting for lanes is. I feel like we keep seeing some different things every week. What do
Yeah.
you think? What was your thoughts of that final on Seafair with the park and nobody making moves that should have been making moves? Like,
Yeah, it was interesting. Well, so you heard Brad and I talking about them in warm up. I just noticed everyone was getting their timing marks and they were trolling up to the start or to the exit pin and then stepping on it. I was like, oh, I already knew that's kind of what the game was going to be, and it does seem to differ by course. Which makes it interesting. I know I saw some of the fans and what people were saying about the start. It happens. But what I do think is, I know H1's on the rise. I know you said don't talk about production, but I do think that's an important part of it. And then we already knew we had great people. Now it's just really telling those stories. So, Andrew Tate, I think, is a great guy and very marketable, and I think people need to know who he is. Same with J. Michael Kelly. There's an amazing story with his family and his wife coming back. And there's just some stuff that I think we really need to share. But at the end of the day, when I go into a Walmart or any store, I want to be able to ask people and say, do you know who an unlimited driver is? And I'd love for 8 out of 10 of those folks to say, yeah. And here's one, here's another. And today we got to work on, because I don't know that you would get that today.
Yeah, I agree. I just had a potential sponsor talking about, and they're in the powerboat racing community and offshores, and I was talking to them about the unlimited. This was prior to Madison, and they're like, "I've
Yep.
never heard of that before." I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right, that's
You
a
still
problem.
do that?
You're in
It's
the
like,
boat
you still
racing
do?
committee, yeah, and you don't know unlimited." I even referenced Miss Budweiser, and it was like, "No." I'm
Yeah.
like, either I got a dud, or we really need to work on this and get back to that.
No, I don't think you have a dud. It's just I think we're just the ones to do it. So
Yeah.
I think that's our charge. Telecasts are, podcasts like this, what we're doing with the telecast, it's just up from here. And that's really where I want to focus. We can talk about all the things that maybe we missed, but I'm just one that's like, what can we do? And that's where you'll see me focus. I know there's people who can point out a ton of things wrong. And I'm just going to say that's probably easy, but what can you do to make a difference? What can you do to make it right?
Exactly. 100%.
I think
All
you've
right,
seen
Bob.
with. Oh,
Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah,
I just
call it
please. Oh,
No,
he's
go
getting
ahead,
his questions
Kyle.
out.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Kyle.
you get
Yeah.
your questions. Yeah.
I think we've seen with several other series, and obviously mostly in the car world, but
Yeah.
over time I feel like it's the generations, the younger generations are a little different. They're not as hot roddy, so to speak.
Yeah.
Where motorsports is in itself is as cool to them. They're not as into the vehicles themselves or whatever it may be. But you see with F1, and you got some drivers that don't like it. You see in NASCAR, you got some drivers that don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily dramatizing the sport in the sense of creating drama. The drama is already there. The emotions
Sure.
are already there. The stories are already there. It's pairing those with the event, the racing itself.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it's harder now than it was in, let's say, the late 90s to sell boat racing just as boat racing.
Yeah.
And it is more than that. I think we all agree it is more than just boats on the water. It's just a matter of how do you properly convey that message.
It's a people business. We know that. You know that.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. And some of the behind the scenes are gold, just like Drive to Survive. We have some of that stuff too. Try being the driver's rep at Seafair when a call is made. It's like, yeah, we need the cameras on that.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
those conversations were real. And, I think people are open to it, and you're starting to see more of that. But definitely, you were saying, like, where do we go? I do think more of those behind the scenes type stories and more of the reality side of it. We're not trying to be big time wrestling or anything like that, but I'm just saying it is important. People follow you because they know what you've talked about or what your issues have been or what your successes have been. But if they don't know that, and we just, tell them kind of our normal, I want to thank my crew and I want to thank my sponsors. That's great. But like, why do I love you? Why am I following you?
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And that, before we get to Bobby on this, that kind of brought me to one more thing that I was thinking. How has it been from the start of this season? You're opening up more avenues of filming and stuff. I feel like H1 Unlimited is this closed community. They're not as open as us Unlimited Hydroplanes.
Yeah.
Like the videos of the boat, the propeller, the engines, I feel like they hide all that stuff. Have they started to kind of see that we need to show these things off? Not every day does someone see a Lycoming engine, a turbine engine, the gearbox. How's all that work?
Do you know how
Have they
many
opened up?
fans? How many fans actually think that an Unlimited is jet powered?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Show the
So
props. Show the
yeah.
props, please, because one more person says, "Oh, that's jet powered." I'm going to lose it.
There was a great segment I did catch on the live stream when you talked to the one prop guy on, I think, Strong's team, or was it Goodman's? Yeah, and like that was an awesome, like, fun. He was funny.
Ken.
That was
Oh,
epic.
Man. Yeah,
He was
he didn't
hilarious.
like me. I don't know if I'm saying it, but we call him Cajun Ken sometimes when we're having a good time. But yeah, again, those are those personalities. And he took time to explain the prop. And, I think we'll even work on some of our B-roll to maybe record more of him working on the prop and then be able to pan back to him. So I think there's some things that we want to really hone in on telling those stories, but you nailed it. That's why I wanted to talk to Ken. And there's other people I want to talk to too. Like Jimmy Gilbert is another one, and he is amazing on raceback. And actually, Brandon, so are you. So, there are people that I think we want to dig in and talk to. And I think Mike Hansen would be amazing on, anything turbine. But there are some folks that, and there are stories that I'm just earmarking like, hey, we could do content on this. But hopefully you're starting to see some of those educational moments. You notice that Erica, she talked about the milling period, right? And, kind of walk you through like what the milling period is. And we want to do more educational sound bites to all of your points so that people do understand the sport. Now, I know some of our experts are like, we already know, but yeah, there's a lot of people that don't. And we need to make sure that they do. And so
100%. Yeah. I mean, just like I said, is obviously Madison, we made a big joke of losing the cowling and just kept when we took the boat to the first show, everyone's like, "Where's the cowling? The cowling should be on." I was like, that was the coolest thing for them people at that car show
Yeah,
to
that's
see
right.
the turbine, to see how it all works. I'm like, we should do more of this. But
Yeah.
yeah, hashtag where is my cowling?
Remember the kid?
You
remember
did.
the-
He did try to do more of it in Madison. He tried to lose it out.
Yeah,
in
I
the
tried
course.
to lose it, man.
Well,
It's
that
weight.
was a
Let's get
hard
rid of it.
hop, man. He took a hop, boom,
Yeah.
like yeah. Hey, you know
Yeah.
that
Yeah, and then
kid
that
in
scared the whole field for the rest of turn one, the rest of the weekend. They're like, oh,
We
there's a
talked
hole
about
there
it.
still.
The lump is still there. Yeah, Brandon found it. Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick before we get off the motors. One of the kids in that video, he loves motors, and he actually builds Lego motors. And he was telling me that they're air powered, and he said it gets up to 25,000 RPM. I was like, you're kidding me.
Oh,
But
wow.
he was so geeking out on the motors, and when we took him up into Cool Cat, he was fine with getting in the capsule, but he was just drooling over the motor, like,
That's
oh my gosh, this is so cool.
That's
And it
really
was just,
cool.
you know, he's 11, and it was so nice to see a kid who loves the engine side of it. So I'm going to try and the family's already reached back out to me, but I'm going to try and figure out a way to get him in the engine shop or get him somewhere so he can learn. And
Yeah.
maybe he can talk about the engine someday. It is, you know, different voices.
That'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
That
That'd
is
be really
awesome.
cool.
That's we just got a comment. I know I keep putting you
no,
off,
it's good.
Bob, but
Yeah.
how cool is it to be able to be there for the Jimmy Johnson deal and
Oh
to
my
actually
gosh.
interview him? Sorry, I almost forgot that part.
No,
That's pretty
no,
pivotal in our
I was
sport.
thinking, I was thinking about that too. You know, Edward Muncie said a word, and it's something I've thought about boat racing for a while, and I've used it before too. But when he said it, it reminded me, and you heard me say it in the interview, magic moments. And so to have Jimmy Johnson there, and just know like the number of people that were crowding around him, and he's been interviewed thousands of times before. I loved getting to see the poise that he had, but then also, you know, the little boy in him too. So we interviewed him first before he went out and got his, you know, kind of ride along with David Williams and the pack, like the Wing Wonder.
Mhm.
He went out and actually, I think we interviewed him when he came back, and he said, "Yeah, you know, I get it. And I know these things are tough to start." And then. You know, he got out in the Blue Blaster and he had a hard time starting it.
I've
you
seen
know?
that.
Yeah. And this little boy, it's on my Facebook page. This little boy, he's got these earphones on. He's like, Jimmy, go, Jimmy, go. Go, Jimmy, go. Go, Jimmy, go. I swear that kid, you know, he coached him to make it. But actually, I know Chip Hanauer was in his ear. And okay, well, maybe Chip did. But I would just say, that was a really special event. And so we talk about the history and want to tie to that. But like you all have been talking about too, we want to make sure we figure out ways to tie to other motorsports, and to have Jimmy Johnson touch one of the most legendary boats in the world and have a history with that boat. That picture of him as a kid sitting on
it's
the back of the
crazy.
boat, man. And then, you know, I had to ask him. So at the end of the final interview, and just know, like, that's a lot of pressure. You know, everyone's
Yeah.
sitting there watching. You're like, man, don't mess up. I hope it goes well. And, you know, I asked him, I said, hey, just to close it out, I saw you put your feet in the water. Was that a reenactment of something? And he said, yeah, you know, it's just me kind of reliving that moment as a child and just kind of getting some of those feelings back. And it was really cool to see someone that famous just geek out on the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then watching him with Chip Hanauer kind of passing on knowledge and really helping each other. And then even the interview with Tanner Faust and him, you know, they got to go deep. They both have race cars. And so I'll tell you that was an amazing experience. I'm so glad the Hydroplane Race Boat Museum helped put that together, and that Jimmy came and did it. Yeah, it was
That was really
we
cool.
tried to capture as much as we could on camera, but boy, being there was just extra special.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was
It's kind of like the other story you spoke about earlier. It's like we may never get that exact moment again, but what else can we create from that kind of stuff?
One thing I wish they would have did when Jimmy Johnson is there, put the boats on the water and have a heat so he can witness it firsthand in person.
Oh, yeah,
The speed, like the speed, them, you know, the competition. Like he got to drive a vintage boat. He didn't get to see the current racing halls go out and compete. And I think we missed that point, and I think I don't know. Can't can't rewind time and go back and do it, but I really wish
Yeah.
that would have happened. So
Hindsight's
it's some-
2020.
especially since he shared the link on his Facebook, and people
Yeah.
that would never watch were watching. So
Yeah, well, let me touch on that because I think he did even say it might have been in Tanner's interview, and I don't know if it hit the cutting room floor, but he did talk about like there are people who've offered to have him come back and do it again. So like hopefully
Yeah.
this isn't a one and done.
Yeah.
And really, I think at that point, then you're talking turbines. This was just a
Yeah.
chance for him to live out that childhood dream, and it's a bucket list thing for him. But
Yeah.
I could see in his eyes he really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see
Yeah,
him be back, coming hanging out with the Turbine team. Don't know how far he'd go. I'm not saying Brent doesn't know anything.
I mean, I
other
say-
than-
I don't know.
get the
Go
guy
ahead,
in get the guy in a current boat. Let's get him on the water.
You know what he
Someone
did
can make
surpri-
that phone
you
call
know what
and
he
do it.
did probably see that day and probably really had liked because it's more at home for him. Grand Prix Hodge.
Well, did you catch?
Plains.
Did you catch what he said? I said, "Wow, I mean, you look like you've been driving it for years." And
Mm.
he was super smart. They told him what the RPM range was where they wanted him to be, and then he just started asking some questions. He said, like, well, he figured out where the max is for vintage boat, and then he said, well, then I pinned it there. And so that's why his laps look so good.
Yeah.
His rooster tail was amazing. I was like, wow, he looks really
Yeah.
good. But he didn't go by just the minimum. Typically,
Yeah.
you're like 130, 120 when you're doing an exhibition. But when David got out, I said, hey, David, what do you think the top speed was? And he said, about 40, 140.
Yeah.
I think
that's fast.
I think
That's
that first
great.
time on the front stretch when Jimmy like stepped on it and really hit that max, I don't think David was expecting it. 'Cause it took him
Yeah,
a second
Blake
to get
catch.
going
Wait,
too.
whoa, what?
He took off on him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny.
That's great.
All right.
All right,
Bob,
we're
you're
going.
up.
We're
I'm
moving
waiting
on
you're
to
up.
these.
patiently.
This is
Is it
rapid
speed round or what is this? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
speed
Rapid fire.
rapid fire.
Okay.
So
Is it
I'll
one
just ask
word?
you. No, it doesn't have to be one word. Just don't make it
Okay.
into a story.
Okay.
All right.
Is he saying I'm making stories up?
No, we did.
No,
we do have people that make long stories.
We've had some people that it's like I ask them a question and it's like 5 minutes later they're still on it.
Okay.
Steve David was the best. What's your favorite boat drive? All of them. Like, thanks, bud.
All right. So, favorite class you've driven?
Well, testing unlimited, and then Grand
Okay.
Prix for competition.
All right. What's your biggest fear?
Snakes and sharks.
I'm right there with
Fair
you.
enough.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
with you on that one.
I watched Jaws too many times. Yep.
What's
There's
your
one
favorite?
behind Bobby.
Oh, right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
What's your favorite race course?
Seattle, because I grew up there. But boy, I didn't realize how great Tri Cities is, how close you are. And I
Yeah.
still need to see Detroit. So
All
We'll be
right.
back there next year, right?
that's the way
Appetizer.
we're working on it. Appetizer?
Appetizer. Hot wings or potato skins?
Hot wings. And
Hot
hotter the
wings.
better.
Yes.
Love it.
What's your favorite part about boat racing?
The people. Yeah, we've got great people. And that includes the fans, like bringing
Yep.
them in.
All right. I think you kind of already answered this, but the favorite boat you've driven?
Right now, I'd say the 440 was fun in Gunnersville.
Yeah.
Man, those big corners. It was like driving a Cadillac. It was really clean. Tri Cities was a lot different, but
Was it?
just to be at that level and start pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
440.
Okay. So for unlimited stuff going on right now, would
Yep.
you rather see the 80 mile per hour roll come back or no 80 mile per hour roll or go assigned lanes?
Ooh.
Yeah, man. How about a mix?
How about a mix? Just mix it
Yeah.
up throughout the season.
Yeah.
And whichever
like
one
maybe
has
it's
the best
yeah.
show, just
I
go with
don't
it.
hate that.
No,
I don't
like
hate that
maybe
idea.
it's even a draw for you. Like, oh, well, we're gonna pull out. Oh, looks like it's assigned lanes today. Oh, looks like it's. One of the things that I thought I'm starting to go into a story.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. We can go off on
Go
this
ahead.
tangent.
No,
It's a good
I,
one.
I was just gonna say that, the true drivers, like I remember interviewing Jay Michael. They like different challenges too. Like and especially he never has the fastest boat, so to kind of mix it up, and it's his driving ability that has to get him there.
Yeah.
I do think being able to kind of mix things up and change it that might be interesting. I have liked so on HRL the shorter course and the assigned lanes. Man,
Mhm.
it's competitive, and I know you all
Yeah.
talked about that here on
Yep.
Chasing Tails. So that's kind of interesting. But I do like the fight for lanes when it goes well.
Yeah.
There are times when it doesn't.
Yep. All right. So your favorite racing moment that you've had?
Can I give a racing moment and then a non?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Racing moment. You know, and it does still go back to the 440 because it's to quote Kobe Bryant, job not finished. You know,
Yep.
to get the laps and be like one away. I'm really proud of that. And I'm proud of the way I came out of the boat. Like, you know, I could have been throwing my helmet or acting a fool, but I knew the cameras were on me and that just wasn't the time. And the way I handled myself in that situation, even though it didn't go the way I wanted, built so many more fans for me and Bucket List Racing and the 440.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of the way I handled that. And then I would say this weekend from, you know, outside the boat, you know, the human interest story with the kids and bringing the tickets.
Yeah.
I'm super proud of that. And
That's awesome.
I hope others get to watch that.
That is a good
really
one to be
cool.
proud of. All right. Do you work out, bro?
I do, bro. You see that?
I
bro?
see it behind you.
You see that? Hey,
Hey, come on now.
there's weights down here.
Hey, Eddie Camfouche has a bike behind him when he's on.
But
He
Eddie
don't ride that
Camfouche
bike.
does not use it.
Yeah. No, you know, truly, I have been, you know, working out quite a bit more, trying to eat less. Man, I love good food, and I love gummy
Yeah.
bears or sweets. So yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, workout's important, especially.
I
the
love.
weekend.
I eat my licorice on the way home every
Oh,
night.
bread licorice.
Yeah. No, I
Red
eat all type
Vines?
of licorice. I like red vines, but also there's like some Amish company that
Oh.
makes this. It's blue raspberry licorice and cinnamon licorice. It's so good.
Are they the little Australian style? The
No,
short
no,
ones?
these are
They're
actually
Okay.
long, but I've had the short Australian kind. And
Those
now
are
I
good
just
too.
found, I think there's licorice.com. I'm going to start ordering my licorice
Yes.
from because,
Oh,
oh my
jeez.
God.
Hey,
So
just
long
don't
as
say
it's
licorice.
don't
It's so
say
good.
Twizzlers. Don't say Twizzlers.
No,
You're
that's-
about to
that's-
lose some points. That's just
Twizzlers,
garbage.
you know what?
Sorry.
If there's no option or someone gives it to me, I'll eat Twizzlers, but there's so much better licorice out
Man, that's at the bottom of
Man.
my trick or treat
Yeah,
candy.
like Jaeger.
there. Now, no, trick or treat. Twizzlers does have the 2-pack, the licorice that's the strawberry, and it's the only good strawberry, and it's only, but that's
that's
during
not bad.
Halloween. If you
That's
have a
true.
strawberry when it's not during Halloween, it does not taste good. It has to be
No,
during
that's
Halloween
true.
because it's made different for some reason.
Okay. Almond
All
Joy
right.
is the worst, so that one does not get eaten.
Oh
Fair
no,
enough.
no, throw that out.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a few more questions.
Hit it.
Fighting the Rockies, Coors Light or
Ooh.
Mount Rainier beer? I know Mount Rainier is not in the Rockies, but
Coors Light.
Coors Light. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Last one.
Yeah.
What advice would you have to young kids who are trying to get in the sport?
Yeah. Yeah. This is an important one. You know, for me, boy, the power of Facebook and being able to connect with like all of my idols, right? Like being friends with Steve Reynolds or Steve David or John Walters, folks that I watched as a kid. I would just say, if you love this sport, reach out to
Yeah.
any of us, and they'd be surprised, like the responses you get. And I know everyone on this camera would definitely respond. So, you know, my advice to a kid is, if it's something that you're interested in, reach out, ask questions. You'd be surprised how much we'll roll out the red carpet for you.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's a good answer.
good
I
answer.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I finished this list. You said
Yeah,
all
that's
that.
it. That's it. You did
All
good.
right.
You did good.
I am.
Yeah, you
All
didn't.
right.
I mean, you might have finished in a record time, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it probably was, to be honest.
Yeah, there's some people. It's like I'm like, all right, we got.
I think the longest one was Grendel.
Grindel.
Yeah.
Oh, I talked to Mike
It was
Grindel.
not rapid fire, I'll tell you that.
Before the final, it was fun to talk to him. I was like, "Hey, man, you know, how you feeling?" He's like, nervous. I was like, "Oh, shoot," you know, because he just got off Tri-Cities, and
Yeah.
you know, obviously the prop issues and stuff. And
Yeah.
but it was fun to talk to him. He's quite the character. I
Yeah.
love characters. Yeah.
Oh, Mike's a good guy. Mike's a good
Yeah.
guy. He has had a streak of bad luck
Yeah.
over the
shoot.
last couple years. But man, hopefully it comes around for him. But
Yep.
so
what are we looking forward to for San Diego? You got anything they're going to be
Yeah.
doing new? Or what are we going to be watching?
Well, I know I've been kind of sharing, like, continue to build on the stories. We have a production meeting in between, what we did with Seattle and then what we're going to do for San Diego. So I do think, we will go through and take a look what went well, what could be even better, and then go from there. So I'm not going to give any secrets on that. Nope, I'm not. And but I will say, just tune in. We really appreciate the fan support. We're starting to see, thousands of people in there at one time, which is good. And we just want to continue to grow it. And we're going to continue to work on some of the buffering issues. I know that's been called out on the internet. I understand we got to improve that. But at the same time, boy, I just hope you appreciate the stories, the driving. I think the racing has been even better. So just some good stuff. And, Andrew Tate's kicking butt, but I know everyone's still gunning for it. It was super close at the start of Seattle.
Yeah.
Had some, some things that we didn't expect. And then now Andrew's a little bit further ahead, but, San Diego's a fast race course. So,
yeah,
boy, just, for the fans, don't miss it.
And the saltwater fighting for lanes is going to be different.
I got to say, I can take the buffering because,
Okay.
You guys cannot control that.
Yeah.
What I cannot take is trying to watch a start on the HRL live stream and then all of a sudden it going to a commercial.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the worst part of
commercials.
YouTube. They happened like a weird amount of times this weekend.
It did. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I don't know if everyone's getting commercials the same time I am, but it's at the worst moments.
Yeah.
We can pay to remove that.
That was one of the things I was.
Oh, really?
YouTube-
Can you?
YouTube Premium does no ads.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
so
I was wondering, the ad piece and like how much do we get? And
yeah.
for me, and this might be something that, we'll be talking about, but I was watching some old videos and, there's a lot of marketing that was happening in those 95 videos where, they were selling t-shirts or, hey, get your Strong Racing t-shirt or, but now, that was like a telephone number and an address. Now it's like, just go to the website or, put the QR code up. So
yeah, scan this. Yeah.
I would love for us to, I'm not saying that's San Diego, but I would love for us to figure out ways to market on the broadcast as well and point to and get, hey, you want your shirt, but you're in Anchorage, Alaska. Well, here's where you can order it.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I think
100%.
I brought this up probably episodes ago and probably need to touch it more. I think H1, APBA, HRL all need to do this with their live stream. And just social media is tell people how to get involved or get into racing. I think that rather than just getting us out there, we also need to work on getting people into the sport, getting owners, drivers, crew, not just fans, volunteers. We
always looking for divers.
Yeah, divers, rescue. If you watch a live stream or you go to a race, there is virtually zero information on how to get involved out there. And I think that's something that we need to change. Just not just on live stream, but at a race, have a billboard set up, have a list of boats that are for sale, a list of numbers. If here's your local club to this race or this region, or here's your APBA website, go to that. We need to get that information out there.
Spot on. No, that's a good reminder. Every once in a while it comes up, but probably not enough because we need new fans, need new racers that are fans. And but you started as a fan first, and then it's like, oh, I can do that. That's how I got into radio control. I went to Seafair, and they were doing radio control, and they had their little pamphlet of like, here's how you get involved. And I was like, cool. But we got QR codes, we got technology. There's so many ways we can do it. They can see videos of them running. I had never seen another one run until I bought my own. So
wow.
I'm about to go to the local drag strip and be like, guys, you want to do a real sport where you actually turn?
So what's the drag strip that's near you?
I haven't been there in years, but it's the Lapeer drag strip. It's just
Sure.
I think it's still around, but it's just a small one. You can
Yeah.
pretty much anyone can go. If you do over 10, if you do under 10, you have to have a roll cage. If not,
Okay.
you can pretty much bring a Mazda Miata if you want, or
Run what
a
you brung,
Civic.
huh?
Yeah, run what you
Yeah.
bring.
Let's take Austin's car
Oh.
down there.
And that thing
ain't getting to
won't
the
make it
track.
past the
There's
quarter
no
mile.
way.
We'll take the Honda out of the 2.5
Last,
and put
I
it-
think,
yeah.
I think 2 weeks ago I was at the house. I'm like, oh, what's Austin's car doing here? They're like, oh, it has a fuel leak. And my mom's standing there. She's like, is that fuel still dripping from under the car? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not getting under there.
Park on the grass.
Hey, good thing is it's light. He took the radio out. There's no dash in that car. It's already been weight treatment.
reduction.
He's about
no,
to steal the Honda out of the boat and put it in that thing.
Yo,
Hey, I know your mom's one of your biggest fans. I think I saw her on there earlier. What's mom up to? What's she doing?
She's trying to get things ready for the race this weekend. She's race director for Mott Lake, and
Ah,
it's kind of crunch time.
Yeah.
hi, mom.
Yeah, she's
She's
been busy for months on it, but
She's on the IRC. She's trying to run a race, and she's running around with her hair on fire all the time. Like, you think one of these days she just relax, but I don't think
No.
that
No.
it's just not.
well,
her
that'll be when
style.
Austin and I stop doing shit.
Yeah, it's just not her
Yeah.
style. So
Yeah.
We do
Which
something,
won't
she's
be for
gonna-
a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
long career.
Mary Eve sent me a funny video of her this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Sleeping?
When Austin was racing, it was her just pacing around at the bottom of the boat ramp. She'd go walk that halfway down the dock, turn back around, go walk over this way, walking around going like that with her hands. It was so funny.
Hey, mom, I did not bring this one up. That's not me.
Oh, no,
I
she-
got nothing to do with it.
Oh shit.
that's
What
it's
else you
okay.
guys
I
got?
think Dad just stopped watching my races from the Porta John. He's finally out and he watches now.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I think we're at that point of the episode, Brent. We appreciate having you on. Do you have any
Yes.
closing thoughts? I think you've hit on pretty much everything, but if you have anything you want to add now,
we already know at San Diego you're going to be giving jabs to Brad Luce that you were on
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
We'll make sure he's not on till after San Diego.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Thank
We'll
you.
wait.
We'll give you
Yeah,
that
thank
moment.
you. Yeah. No, I think I would just close with this. Just thank you. It's been fun. It's like we're sitting all in the same room and just having a conversation, hanging out as boys. And I hope the fans enjoyed the conversation and some of the behind the scenes. And this is family, and I appreciate you very much.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
Thank
my
you.
pleasure.
And I mean, that wraps it up for us, guys. It's episode 59 of Chasing Tails.
59.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys.
So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Brian.